Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Behind the Trailer, featuring Monster Handler Ben
and Monster Handler Charlie.
This episode featuring Perplexplore 2023.
Huzzah!
Featuring our own special monster,
Spirit.
Specifically, the scene where he goes into the cave. First shot, when he enters the cave here, the background here is actually made up by our own Monster Handler Belle, using repurposed parts from the Amber Island decorations and island. This all has some nice lighting over it with this adjustment layer. You'll see if we turn that off and on again. A world of difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, the green tint definitely makes it look more cave-like.
Yes. Next scene, he approaches and jumps in, and this, actually, do you see the error?
I do see the error. I actually thought this earlier when you were playing around. The shadow is still there. On all the monsters, they just have a layer that's part of their shadow. And usually when we have to animate something where they're off the ground, you just turn that layer off.
Yeah, but
looks
I
like
did not, I forgot to do that here. And he actually, does he clip, he maybe clips to the minecart a little bit, but it's quick enough that you don't see it, or we cut this scene off sooner than that. He has a little...
It looks fine. It looks fine.
Yeah, he has a little squash and stretch when he leaps up there.
If you take like animation classes and stuff, they show you how to one of the first things you learn is how to make a ball bounce.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that, where you just have to squish it and make it big. And
this was interesting. I went into the program and just deleted his eyes and mouth and moved his hat down.
This scene reminds me of Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo.
Really?
The minecart scene.
I haven't
Or
played
level. You haven't?
No.
Anybody out there who hasn't played Donkey Kong for the original Super Nintendo, go play it.
Right as he sees that it's a cliff drop off, we animate his eyes and mouth accordingly.
This one's, he's like, instead of saying huzzah, he's like, oh no.
But as we go in more to the shot, we have this thing that I actually can't explain. I don't know why the shot is built like this. I have it zoomed in so that you don't see these black borders, but...
You know, sometimes you just gotta work by the seat of your pants.
Yeah,
so.
We're on deadlines. You can see I'm gonna go into the minecart a bit more. In the minecart, the wheels are just animated already. Like if I press play here, they spin already. And that's just on a thing called an expression. If you go to rotation, it says time times 100, and that's just telling it basically for every 1 second, rotate it 100 degrees on the axis. And we all know that it's 360 to do a full circle, so that means the wheels will do a full rotation in about 3.6 seconds.
So the other thing too is you want to make sure that your anchor point is right in the middle of the wheel.
And actually, I don't think it is. I think it's slightly offset, but I think that
kind of works though, right?
I think it was kind of intentional.
Well, the wheels aren't totally circles either.
Yeah. Going back.
Whoa.
Oh, and then just peers off the edge. What does that look like, actually? Okay, yeah, so the rail goes down a bit more further than you would think.
This is an interesting shot because it's all smoke and it's all smoke and mirrors.
We got the speed lines, because of course you do.
Yeah, but the speed lines and the wheels moving makes it look like it's moving, but he's actually stationary.
Yeah, and we actually have this foreground that I made. If I go into it, it's just this long
wow
lineup of these column piece that's just whipping by the camera really fast. And I actually need it to whip by really fast because I think if you go close, there's a seam, but they're going so fast by the camera that you can't.
Yeah, and you got the motion blur on it, so you wouldn't even know.
And I'm doing the same sort of thing with the rails. The rail here is just
really long.
Really long. All to sell the essence of speed, but when he's actually just staying still.
Yeah.
Into this next shot. I have to shout out here.
Yeah.
Because I did not make this. This is a creation of Monster Handler Eric. Rest in peace. He's not dead, but he has moved on to bigger and
better things.
For him. This is an awesome shot, this sort of background cave. All I really did here was add the speed lines and then just tilt, spur it so that it kind of makes it look like he's, reacting to the G-forces of the turns. What do we have next? He sees something up ahead of him.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but the quality looks a little off. It's because
Oh,
the
yeah.
rendering is at quarter. It's a quarter of the quality, and that makes it so it's easier for us to watch things back, and it doesn't have to load for so long,
Yeah.
especially if there's a lot going on.
Put
Look
it
at
back
that.
down.
Now we can see his scared pupils.
Yeah, same sort of technique. He sees some danger up front, and his mouth shrinks, blinks, and as you can see, when we play it, what a voice crack. His pupils are sort of shaken there in fear. Right here, the numbers are in red. The red means that it is on the expression, which right here is wiggle 48/2, which means every second it will make a random adjustment of 48 pixels twice every second, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. I could be totally wrong, but I think. And that's how we get that shaking pupils look. And then next scene we see what he's afraid of. I use all the length that I have available from this railroad, kind of like fake, a camera pan, all the way to the front here, and like there's no camera that's actually moving. It's more like Spirit is moving backwards. And so we whip forward. It's the end of the track.
Oh no!
You'll see here that sort of like, if we even when we set it on a quarter, that sometimes even still won't be enough, and you get this nice crusty looking stuff when you pan around. There's a little ledge
Jump!
poking out of the wall. You gotta jump.
You can do it.
I think these torches up here, the same effect that they use for lightsabers.
Oh, really?
It's just a very short lightsaber.
Yeah. Nice. Jump.
Jump,
Spirit.
squash. In anticipation of the jump, you squash down, and then when he releases, he almost stretches vertically.
And you looked like you animated his feet to point down as
Yeah. Oh no, we've lost him.
well. Spirit.
No.
No!
No. And that's a crash. So After Effects crashes as it likes to do. It's a love-hate relationship. Very unstable.
Save a lot. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, so he sees the ledge. He jumps to it. Yeah, last.
Oh, and then he hits his head.
Yeah,
Good thing he's wearing that hat.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. He's fine. He's very squashed, but that's for the effect.
I realize that we keep saying he, but monsters don't have genders. We just a habit.
Slip of the tongue.
Slip of the tongue. Whoa.
Soar through the air. They get a little bigger because he is crossing a distance here.
The only reason why it's
Ball.
blurry right now is because that's what the motion blur does. It
Yeah.
makes it so that it looks more realistic. Because if you turn your head,
Yeah.
if you turn your head, you can see the motion blur. And sometimes in After Effects, if you add that motion blur, that it just makes things look a little more realistic when they're moving.
Yeah, and it certainly makes it chug more.
Yeah, and yeah, it puts your computer to work for sure.
Yeah.
And then he bonks his
Bonk, and then disappears. No one ever saw him again.
head. No, that's not.
Maybe he discovered a gobbledygook or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? And that was the second episode of Behind the Trailer, featuring the Perplexplore 2023 video.
Yeah, I love this trailer. The part where Spirit's going through the cave and the cave's going like this, it's just really well done. So it's cool. Yeah, I'm glad that we got to look at it.
Trailer? Comment on what you want to see next. What trailer, what scene? And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.